Hello guys and welcome back. So let's keep on going with our setup here. We have overlappable now. I'm gonna right click on this guy and then new C++ class derived from overlappable. And this one we're gonna name it fruit. And then create class. And whenever you create a new class, this is going to be slow, so you have to wait for it to finish. I'm going to click on reload all. Okay, now I have my fruit class. You can see it doesn't give us anything because this is not based on some generic actor. It's going to be some custom actor we already created called overlappable. You can see in the header file of fruit, it's publicly inheriting the A overlappable, right? Not actor or pawn as the base class, but some of the class we created already. Now here I'm going to type in public column, and then I'm going to say void overlapped. Let me copy that from overlappable. So basically we're going to override this thing. So I'm going to copy that, and here in the fruit I'm going to paste that in. Oh, I don't need to have that void. And then I'm going to type in override. So now we're overriding what's happening when overlapped with snakehead, right? And then here in the fruit CPP, I'm going to implement that. So void a fruit column that, right? And then we can do something here now. Okay. Now for the fruit, I think I need to give it some visual. So let's go to here, and we can also create the constructor just like the things we did with the game mode. We have to create this first and then implement it in the CPP file over here, right? So I'm going to say void a fruit, right? And then we can set up a few things for the geometry, right? Because the mesh doesn't have any model, we can do that by stealing the things we have in the snakehead, right? Mesh. These things, right? I'm gonna copy that, go to the fruit CPP and paste it in here. Oh, I don't need the void in there. That's a fruit column and then the function. Yeah. So mesh for mesh this time. Mesh for our mesh, and then we can say mesh. Its static mesh will be mesh for mesh dot object. Just to make the naming more, oh, I don't need to have void in there either. Just a fruit and a fruit. So we're looking for shape cube. So just change that to from sphere to cube. They should be in the same folder, so I don't need to change anything else. This will give the fruit the shape of a cube. Okay, and then when we overlap with the snakehead, we can say. We can ask the snakehead to call its overlap function. So let's do that in the snakehead here. That has to be public because we're expecting to call this in fruit, right? So I'm going to create a function called eat fruit. Okay. I'm going to create the implementation in the CPP file. So it's down here. Void a snakehead eat fruit. Okay. Now at the moment we can do a UE log temp warning. You know what? Let's update our score. We can create a private variable called score. So int score integer is a number that is not having any fractions, right? So it's just a whole number, right? So I'm gonna copy that. And of course in the CPP file we can make it equal to 0 first, right? And then when we eat a fruit down here, we can say score ++. Okay, and then we can log out the score. So text column quotation mark score is now %i for integer, and then we just type in score after that. this will pass score over and replace this %i with the value of score to print out. This is the way this is really common in all different programming languages, right? How you compose things together for printing. Okay, so when you eat fruit, then score will be incremented. We're also going to print out the value of the score. So back here to the fruit CPP, when we overlap with the snake head, we can just say snake head dot eat fruit. You can see how easy it is now, right? With the base class taking care of the checking, right? Taking care of the mesh creation, and taking care of the checking here. Then for the child class, we don't worry about those things. We just do the specific things for the child class. For example, the mesh model to load, and then do something with the snake head when we're overlapped. And here I'm gonna do include, of course, the snake head here just to be able to use it. Right. Alrighty. Let's go back and compile. Alright, so now if I drag in the fruit, I'm still not seeing it in here. There's a static mesh component here now. Oh, not this one. I guess I changed the constructor, so why don't we just restart this whole thing? Right, whenever you change constructor, it just have to be recreated from scratch. Now you can see the fruit is having a cube. Right, I'm gonna drag this cube over here. Right, even we don't see anything, right? We do have a root component. We don't even see the mesh, but it's in there. Right? Again, that's when the programmer does not want the level designer to touch it, and that's what the programmer do. But you can also, set up some, make it available for the designer so that they can, make changes to that. Now we have a fruit. We'll go ahead and play the game and move towards the fruit. You can see now it's saying score is now 1, right? So every functionality here is working. We can now keep overlapping with the fruit, and we got 1 added, right? Okay. So that's gonna be it for this video, right? We have the fruit in there now. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Another thing the fruit should be doing is to add a tail to the snake. So we need to create the tail class, and then we need to make sure that when we eat a fruit, the tail will be added to the snake head. So let's do that in the next video. Okay, see you next time.